Hey everybody, it is Majin Slayer here, and today I got for you guys some combos featuring Rhongo Bongo. You can go ahead and do in Master Duels. Um, so for Master Duels, I know I said I wasn't gonna go ahead and go over replays. Um, I'm still mixed about it to be honest. I haven't really been doing much on it, especially since it's the best of one. Um, that means it's gonna be more like luck based because unless you're doing like a tournament where like maybe they do top cut as like best of three, but even then, it's something I might try out. I've just been kind of just like playing on there for like at least like once a day just to like get gems for like playing in ranked pretty much. But I actually have enough like gems to where like I was actually able to get most of the deck aside from three forbidden or two forbidden droplets and one Rhongo Bongo. So I literally just need like 90 more ultra rare, like the things you use to like make cards and stuff. But pretty much what I'm thinking about doing is like maybe just trying it out and like test it out in like a tournament or two because I haven't really tested out the deck in like a tournament setting, and it just be kind of like a little bit biased to me to like completely knock it off considering how I'm an online only player. So before we get into the combos, my list will probably look like something like this, in which I played over the summer before, the introduction of Burst of Destiny. It would pretty much look something like this, aside from like the prosperities, the IO, the imperms. It would just be like more danger focused for like the extenders because the snake is at 3 in the OCG, the rabbit's at 2. Um, droplets and ash blossoms would for sure stay in. Maxis would go in. Just a matter of like some play testing. I'll probably do maybe a live stream next week, depending on how I'm doing in school, how much I need to study for. But anyways, so these are some combos I figured out while doing some play testing in solo mode. Meanwhile, I wait to get some free gems and unlock some the crafting materials to craft the cards themselves. So this is combo number one with just the torn scales and boots. Go into shared beanie graph, go ahead, switch them out Scarm. You don't have to switch them out Scarms necessarily. It's just that when you're going for like the Rhongo Bongo play, shared beanie isn't really doing anything. So unless if you're like in games 2 and 3 where you want to play around Nibiru better, then yeah, bring out the Seer and the shared beanie. Using its effect to bring out the shared beanie sire will definitely help you play around Nibiru better because you're gonna bait out an Appaloosa or the Nib or bait out the nib for an Appaloosa line, sorry. We're going to go turn that to Rusty. It's important that you're also running Staining Greaves and the Shade Brigadier in majority of these combos. Because in a lot of times you're going to be using the Stained Greaves and the Shade Brigadier to go ahead and make the Rhongo Bongo. You go ahead, switch some out Torn Scales. They're searching the Stained Underwear with the Cloak. Go ahead, Torn Scales, go discard any card. Make sure you go ahead and chain the Shade Breeding because then we're going to send a trap and you won't be able to buff summon out the Shade Brigadier if you have a trap in the graveyard. Then go ahead, trigger Stained Underwear on Resolution. Remember to go ahead and make it level 4. So we're going to go ahead and use it to make Rhongo Bongo soon. You do play a little bit hard into Nib in this combo, but the good thing about Master Duel is that it's only a best of one. So majority of like topping deck lists I noticed just aren't running Nib. And end phase, go ahead and grab your tour guide for follow-up if they can even out your Rhongo Bongo at that point. And then also, if you have like a generic extender, the lineup play becomes a little bit better because you can also add a Pog Blade as well. So this is just a combo, or this is a lineup play, sorry, in which you open up something like an E-Telly, or even maybe like a Danger or a Psychic. See, now the reason why I say it plays around Nib a little bit better, and you have a little bit better follow-up, is that you have to search out a Pog Blade with the boots and keep it for an eruption instead of just discarding it and using it as like a monster reborn. And also in case like they nib you before you go for your Gossip Shadow line of play, where you still have your Ancient Cloak to go and search out Stained Underwear and use it to like go into like a Time Thief Redoer or an Evil Sword Nightmare with the Shade Brigade. So pretty much the same line of play, you just end on like an extra interruption. And you keep an extra card in hand because you didn't have to discard with the Torn Scales. Alright, and then here's another line of play. This time we're going to be using Tour Guide. And you're going to need Extender that able to like special summon itself when you control level 3. So like the Psychics, not necessarily when you control level 3, but like a free body special summon. So not a Kagamucha Knight, um, not a Junk Forward. Um, but yeah, so we can go ahead, bring out the Graph. Go ahead, Graph Effect, bring out the Scarm. Dump Gloves, play around Nibiru, the Rusty Summon. Go ahead, dump the Torn Scales, set the Shade Brigade with the Rusty effect. Go ahead, Gloves, tag out for a Ancient Cloak. Go ahead, trigger Torn Scales. Like depending on your hand, maybe you open up like a double max C and you want to get rid of those maxi, that maxi. You can go ahead and like discard it and send a Boots, and then like Boots go and search out a Pod Blade for an on field interruption, but you don't necessarily have to do that. That's what I was saying, where like you need like more so like a free body special summon. Like obviously if this was like the wielder itself in hand, it would also work because I control the Torn Scales, it's level 3. But this was like what I was saying, where it can't be a Kagamucha Knight or a Junk Forward. The danger can also help too, depending on what your hand is looking like too. Gotta turn those into Gossip Shadow. Ancient Cloak effect, search out Stained Underwear. Stained Underwear, make it level 4. Remember, end phase, grab Tour Guide for follow-up. Remember, you're locking your opponent out of special summoning or normal summoning. And also, it's unaffected by other card effects. It's insanely broken. Alright, and then for this next line of play, it's going to be featuring Torn Scales plus 2 generic extenders. And this combo works a lot more better if you are able to like discard a danger, which more than likely you'll be able to, because the snake is at 3 in the OCG. Well, not in the OCG, but in like the Master Duel ban list. And the rabbit is also at 2. But it doesn't necessarily have to be the snake. It can also be a Kagamucha Knight, Junk Forward. Just realize that you're going to end up with like less cards in hand. Go ahead, discard, dump the gloves. We dump the gloves, play around to Biru. The Rusty Summon. Go ahead, show Beanie, send Graphs, or summon out Scarm. Go ahead, turn those two into Rusty. Rusty, dump Ancient Cloaks, set the Shade Breeding. Ancient Cloak effect, go ahead, add the Stained Underwear. Go ahead, trigger the Torn Scales. Go ahead, E-Telly, bring out the Psychic. Go ahead, turn those two into the Gossip Shadow. Shade, Stained Underwear. Make it level 4, turn those into the Rhongo bottle. Gossip Shadow to equip itself, or to add itself as Xyz materials, adds to the Rhongo Bongo. And you have the option right here of also just tagging out the gloves for a Boots, and then Boots search out the Fog Blade for an extra interruption if you wish to do so. And then also the Tour Guide add off of the Scarm effect during the end phase. Okay, here's the last combo. You're going to need a generic extender alongside gloves and a free body special summon extender yet again. Here, I'm using Junk Forward in this case. Go ahead, turn those two into the Sherbini effect, Graph, so now the Scarm. Turn those two into the Rusty Bardiche. Go ahead, Rusty, send Torn Scales, set the Shade Brigade, Rider Gloves, tag out for the Ancient Cloak, Torn Scales effect, wait to bring itself out. Go ahead, E-Telly right here. And you also have an option yet again of discarding a card in your hand to go ahead dump the boots, and then boots search out a pog blade if you wish to do so. Go to ancient cloak, search out stained underwear. Use shade brigadier, bring yourself out. Special summon out stained underwear, make it level 4. Turn those Rhongo Bongo, cast some shadow, effect equip. Not equip, sorry, add itself as seed material and its overlay units. But yeah, so those are some Rhongo Bongo combos I decided to share with you guys. Also, I'm going to be coming out with a video on how to go ahead and change your Dueling Book wallpaper. I get a couple people asking me that here and there, and I figured that since it's not that hard of a task to do so, I might as well go ahead and show it off to you guys, so that'll be in a separate video coming out soon. But yeah, so I'll more than likely be trying out Master Duels once I have all the cards available. Like I said, I just need a couple more gems to get for free this coming few days. And then maybe if like I start to like it, and then maybe some like, remote duel servers start doing Master Duel tournaments, then I'll definitely be willing to like try it out at least a couple of times before I get my final opinion on whether or not I want to stick with it. Because obviously, the reason why I've been waiting out for so long because I'm not spending any money on the game. But yeah, so I hope you guys enjoy those long lines of play. If you guys did, please leave a like, share with your friends, and yeah, hope you guys have a great day. Peace.